I in frame? I think I am. It's kind of hard to tell. My camera's pretty far away from me today. But anyways, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay, and today we are going to do a really fun craft. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, so I'm super excited about it. Though I know some of you are probably hoping for a bariatric surgery update. I promise one of those is going to be coming soon, but if you haven't watched my bariatric videos, I will go ahead and pop up the playlist right there so you can get all caught up on that whole aspect of my life. Like I said, I promise one will be coming soon, but today we are going to be trying ice dyeing for the first time. So if you're unfamiliar with ice dyeing, it's basically a different type of tie-dye. And of course, tie-dye just kind of took over like the entire world this past summer. We did it as a family. We had a really fun time. I just used a little kit that we purchased off of Amazon, and we just did it out in our backyard. I think we made 2 shirts each. It was really fun. And then I stumbled across this new technique, which I'd never done before. When I was little, I had definitely tie-dyed before. I remember doing it a bunch in Girl Scouts, and then like I just said, we did it over the summer. But ice dyeing is definitely something that is new for me, and it just looks really beautiful, I think, and it looks like a lot of fun to try, so that's what we're gonna do today. So before we get into it, let me go through all of the supplies. It's quite similar to tie-dyeing, but a little bit different. So to start out with, you're just gonna need something to tie-dye or ice dye, and for today, I'm gonna use 4 different t-shirts. I've got 2 for me, and then I've got 1 for each of my kids as well. They love tie-dye t-shirts. We've got the ones that we made over the summer. We've got other ones that we've purchased. They just love them, so I thought I would try some out for them as well. And then I've got 1 plain white t-shirt for myself, and then I've got this little guy here, which I will have a link to down below. This is what this one looks like. I designed this. I just thought this was like so silly and fun. It just says, I tie-dyed this shirt, because like I said, tie-dye is everywhere. Everyone's trying it. So if you tie-dye a shirt that just says, I tie-dyed this shirt, no one's gonna have to ask you if you tie-dyed it, because it just tells you. So like I said, I will have a link to this shirt down below. It's just a silly fun shirt that I designed, and it's super soft. It's made out of 100% cotton, so this is going to be perfect for tie-dyeing. I really hope that this one turns out. Like I said, it's just super fun, but of course you can tie-dye absolutely anything. Typically white works best, but I've also seen people do like the reverse tie-dye, like would you use like a dark colored object and use bleach. Don't know how well that would work with ice dyeing, though. That might be kind of fun to experiment with as well. But anyways, there are all the t-shirts that we're using. And then I've got my 2 little trays here. And then I also have these little wire cooling racks. These are also from the Dollar Tree. That's where I got these as well. And they fit pretty well just right on top here. Just kind of like that. So hopefully these are going to be strong enough to hold everything, but we'll see. And then you're also going to need a big bag of ice, which I have upstairs in my freezer, so it's not going to melt on us quite so fast. So I will go get that when the time is right. And then you're going to need some dye. So the dyes that I have today, I'm using powdered dye, but you can also use liquid dye, but I think the traditional method with doing the ice dyeing is to do it with powder. I just have all RIT dyes here. I have the color purple, here is teal, then I have royal blue, petal pink, and lemon yellow. And I think these colors just look really pretty together. And I just kind of randomly picked like the ones that I liked, and I purchased these off of like 3 or 4 different websites, because you can't hardly find these anywhere right now because tie-dyeing, like I said, is just so popular. But I ended up finding them, and I think they actually look really pretty together. So I'm really excited to see what kind of color combinations I can come up with these. And then I also am going to use some soda ash here. This is a solution that I'm going to go ahead and soak the shirts in before we tie-dye. And this is just going to kind of help make sure that all the dye really adheres to the t-shirt. So we're going to go ahead and do this first before we start dyeing. And then assuming everything goes well with the tie-dyeing part, I'm going to go ahead and use this RIT Color Stay Dye Fixative. I'm going to go ahead and do this after we do everything, after I let all the ice melt and everything, just to make sure that all of the dye really sticks to these t-shirts. So let's go ahead and fill up my bucket here. I've got this big bowl. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with water, and then we're going to go ahead and put the soda ash in and let this sit for about 20 minutes. What is this shadow here? Do you guys see this? What is going on? I'm going the wrong way. But what is that? There is nothing in this room making that shadow move. Is my camera going crazy? I don't know. Anyways, let's go ahead and get our soda ash solution all mixed up. So I only have, I don't know, maybe about 1/3 of this bowl filled up, because after I put all of the shirts in, I'll go ahead and fill it up to the top. I just don't want to overfill and have everything spill out. Go ahead and mix that up. Now we're gonna add our shirts. All right, and I definitely need to add a lot more water to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let this sit for about 20 minutes and then we will get to the dyeing. Okay, let the 20 minutes commence.
20 minutes later.
So the shirts have been soaking for about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and wring these out and I'm going to just kind of crumple them up and put them on these trays. I don't think there's really any rhyme or reason as to how you're supposed to crumple it up. You're just kind of supposed to, you know, squish it all together so there's, you know, peaks and valleys and stuff on the shirt to make the design a little bit more interesting. And oh gosh, hopefully this will stay, this little tray. It's like barely big enough. And hopefully with all the ice and the other shirt and everything that this will be able to support everything because it is quite flimsy. Ugh. So here's a close-up of what the t-shirts look like before we put all of the ice and the dye on. And now it's time for me to go get the ice. All right, so I think I'm gonna put the ice on all 4 of the shirts first, and then we'll put the dye on. I think that's gonna be the easiest, but we'll see. But I do have this big, I don't know how many pounds this is, 7-pound bag of ice. All right, so I know you really can't see my face, but hi, here I am. So for ice dyeing, I didn't really even explain what it was. So we're just gonna go ahead and pile ice on top of our shirts here, and then we're gonna put the dye on top of that. And as the ice melts, the dye will kind of run down onto the shirt, dyeing the shirt in these cool, intricate, like watery kind of looking patterns, like almost like watercolor looking. It's super pretty from what I've seen. So yeah. Crossing my fingers that this all works out. So let's just go ahead and put all the ice on. And of course, the more ice you use, the more diluted the dye is gonna get. So you kind of wanna reach that like happy medium between using enough ice to disperse the dye beautifully and not using too much as to where it's gonna just all run off of the shirt because of all of the water. And hopefully my containers here are gonna be large enough to catch all of the ice as it melts when it turns into water. So I don't wanna come back down here tomorrow into like these big, huge puddles. Or maybe I should go ahead and just throw the dye on this one so that I can kind of move it out of the way and not have to worry about it. Yeah, maybe. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so this little one here is my daughter's and her favorite color is blue. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and use the royal blue. And I think maybe the pink and the yellow a little bit. I think maybe I'll, try to incorporate those 3 colors for her shirt. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle some of the yellow dye on. All right, and then this is one of the 2 that I did for myself. This is the one that I had little screen printing. Yes, I tie-dyed this shirt. And I think I'm gonna do the purple, the teal, and should I do yellow or pink? Purple, teal, and yellow. I think I'm gonna do purple, teal, and yellow. All right, so here is our first tray. That looks really, really pretty so far. Hopefully it's going to turn out. I'm very nervous that this is not going to work at all. But we'll see here. You can see it there. That looks pretty cool. And it's already starting to melt. You can see then down underneath some of the water already. But of course we're going to just let it mellow for a while. And this, I realize now, is kind of looking like a Mardi Gras shirt, which was definitely not my intention. But we'll see what color that teal kind of ends up, and maybe it won't be so Mardi Gras-ish, but we'll see. All right, so I scooted you guys even closer for these last two shirts. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover them with ice, and then we will try and figure out a cool design for them. Oh no. Please stay, please stay. No. Stay where I put you. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and start with my son's, which is this one over here. And his favorite color is green. So the closest color we have is the teal. So I'm gonna use that for him. And then I think I'm gonna do the yellow again and I guess the blue. So we'll do teal, blue, and yellow for him. So I'm gonna do pink, purple, and blue for my last shirt. And as you can see, I'm just kind of trying to keep the colors concentrated in one area. I'm not going crazy with putting the color like all over, because I think that would just kind of create an absolute mess. So I'm just kind of trying to concentrate, you know, little blocks of color for each of the colors, like one or two for each color on each shirt. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of what I've seen other people in videos do, so just kind of why I'm doing it, but you guys know I'm just winging this. I've never done it before. I'm just going through and using up all of the dye and just kind of going over all of the different colors just to use up all the dye to make sure that they're as vibrant as they can be. And then here is a close-up of our last two shirts. See, it's already starting to melt. This one's melted quite a bit already. So again, I just really, really hope that I'm not waking up to big, huge puddles in my basement tomorrow. All right, so I've gone ahead and thrown down a whole bunch of just like old rags right around the perimeter of the two pans because I'm just paranoid that I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and there's just gonna be water everywhere. But otherwise, that is it for now. I'm gonna just let these sit. I will check in tomorrow morning. All of the ice should be melted by then, and then I will go ahead and rinse them out and we will see what my ice dyeing project turned out like.
The next morning.
All right, so it is the next morning, and sorry my voice sounds a little bit hoarse today, but this is what my son's looks like and my second one, and then here's my daughter's and the first one that I did. So no spillage over, thank goodness. I was so worried about that. But I'm gonna go ahead and rinse them and then soak them in that fixative solution, and then we will see what the final results are. Alright, so all the shirts are now done. They are washed and dried, and clearly I am wearing one of them. And you guys, the results are so cool. I am so pleased with how this project turned out. I really wasn't sure what to expect. Of course, I had seen a bunch of tutorials on how to do this, but being that this was the very first time that I had ever ice dyed myself, I wasn't really sure. But I really like how everything turned out. So let me go ahead and show you all the different shirts. We'll start with this one, and I'll go ahead and insert a close-up of it as well so you can also see the back. But this is the first shirt that I did, and again, this shirt will be linked down below so you can go ahead and pick one up for yourself and design it to your heart's content. And if you do, please tag me on Instagram so I can see all of your amazing creations. But this is just so fun. I love just like the watercolor look of it, like how soft all the different colors kind of like melded together. And in some places they are a little bit more bold and vibrant, and other places there's just like a little like wash of color, like down here. It's just so cool. So let me go ahead and show you what is probably my favorite one, which is the one that I did for my son Harry. I just think this shirt turned out beautiful. I'm utterly obsessed. I wish this one would fit me, but I don't think it will. It's just so freaking cool. And he loves it too. He was so excited. I'm sure he's gonna wear it the next time he gets a chance. But it's just so cool. And a little bit of purple kind of bled on to his sleeve here, either from this shirt or the other shirt that I did for myself, because I didn't put any purple on here. But I just think that's just such a fun, cool touch too. And it just looks amazing. There's absolutely no white left on this shirt. It's so cool. I love that one so much. And then this is the one that I did for my daughter Ivy, who is almost 3.5, and hers turned out really cute as well. I love how there's just like a little bit of like the pink color up here, but it's a lot of blue, which of course is her favorite color. Though this pink I thought was going to turn out a lot lighter. It was like called petal pink, I think, and the box was like a really light pink. It's a little bit deeper than I thought, but I still think it's really pretty. All these colors here just meld beautifully together. Absolutely gorgeous. So there's that one. And then the very last one is the second one that I did for myself, which is, this is the one this is the one that I thought was going to be Mardi Gras. And it's really not. I don't think it's too Mardi Gras at all. This is the other one that I did for myself. And this one is probably my least favorite. I mean, I will definitely still wear it, but there's just kind of like a lot of blank space here on the shirt, which isn't a bad thing. It just kind of turned this weird, funky kind of gray color. I wish that was a little bit more vibrant white, but I guess just like the nature of this whole dyeing technique, that's probably just not possible. But yeah, there we go. Like I said, this is probably my least favorite, but I still will wear it and I still do like it. I just wish that it wasn't like that weird kind of gray color. And there's a little bit on this one too, but it's not quite as bad or quite as obvious, I don't think. But overall, I am very pleased with how my first attempt at ice dyeing turned out. So I will definitely be trying this again. I'm sure the next time my kids are going to want to get involved, and maybe we'll even do a shirt for my husband as well, because this was just super fun. You just need a couple of colors of dye and a bag of ice, and that's basically all you need. So if you haven't tried this yet, definitely go ahead and give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Overall, super happy with how everything turned out. So thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me today and watching this video. And again, I promise a bariatric surgery update will be coming very soon on my channel. And double check that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss when that video goes live. Also, we can connect on Instagram. I will have a link for that listed down below. And I guess I will just see you guys all in the next video. Bye!